Salut, c'est Géraldine. Welcome to week number 2 of the French online summer camp. I'm glad to be back with you today. As you can see, still outside, I'm still on holiday and it's a bit colder than I thought, so I had to borrow some clothes. Last week we talked about the basics of spoken French, and this week we're going to talk about how to sound a bit more French. First, we're going to talk about 3 basics that anybody can implement no matter your level, and then we're going to talk about conversation fillers to sound more French than textbook, because very often some students are even advanced and they sound way too rough. Okay. So if you want to, you can download the PDF of the lesson on communefrancaise.com, and we'll start now. I'm Géraldine, welcome to Comme une Française, Sound French, even to the French. C'est parti! So first, we are going to talk about the 3 basics of modern spoken French. And first, it's about dropping the ne. You might have heard that before or not. Even if you're very advanced, you might sound like a bit of a textbook, and that will really change lots of things for you. For example, instead of saying je n'aime pas les carottes, I don't like carrots, we say j'aime pas les carottes. Ou je ne veux pas aller dîner, we say je veux pas aller dîner. And as you can see, we drop the ne, and that makes a huge difference. The second thing is to use on instead of nous. Okay? Instead of saying nous voulons des carottes, we say on veut des carottes, and that's how we conjugate it as well. Instead of using nous, which is the first person of plural, we use on, which is a third person of singular, and you conjugate it this way. If you're a bit more advanced and you want to know more about spoken French, we happen to make the adjective and the participe passé agree with the subject. So if it's 3 women, you will have to agree with 3 women, even if on is supposed to be neutral. But that's a detail, and it's really if you're more advanced. But what you have to remember as the second basic of spoken French is to drop nous and use on instead. Again, maybe this is what you heard at school, but that's how we actually speak French. Use on instead of nous. The third thing, again, sorry if you learned that at school, is to drop inversion in questions. We don't use inversion in question very often. We use it when we want to be more formal or more direct in a very special way, but most of the time, 99%, we don't use it. We just put the question mark, as you say in English, at the end of the question. Instead of saying veux-tu de la glace, we say tu veux de la glace, and as you can hear in my voice, the voice goes up to make the difference between a question and not a question. So instead of saying veux-tu de la glace, we say tu veux de la glace, and the voice goes up, and this means would you like some ice cream, which I would love to have after this episode. Now, as part 2, we have to talk about conversation fillers to sound more French than textbook. Why? Because when you're speaking your own language, whether it's English or, I don't know, Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, you speak it in a way that is not the way I would speak if I was learning the language. I would be very much like a textbook. But when I speak French with my friends and my family, my phrases, my sentences, my questions are not that perfect. I hesitate, I interrupt myself, and that makes the language real. So, for example, we don't use in French, we use e. I know it's a tricky sound, but that's how we say it. So if you are not sure about what you're saying, instead of saying which is in English, you can say which is French. I know, that's surprising, but that's what we actually say. And you can use it very often as a filler. Then the second thing is that we change the words a little bit. So instead of saying oui, which is the proper way to say yes, oui, we say ouais in a kind of slang French. We can also say mouais to say I'm not really sure. You can hear a difference? Oui, ouais, and mouais. Okay. Again, it's a matter of tone of voice and the intention you put into it. Like I'm not really sure. Mouais is for that. Also, obviously, if you want to be a bit ironic, you say ouais, ouais, as in I don't really believe you. And you see, it's just one word that we change a little bit to give more meaning to our sentence. So you can decline, decline? I don't know if you say that in English. Change this we and make it into new words to have new intentions in French, and that kind of slang will help you sound more French. The third one is, I assume that you learned the pardon, like I'm sorry or excuse me. Okay, pardon in French, that's what maybe your French teacher taught you, which is very nice. But in French, we sometimes tend to say "hein" to mean what or excuse me. You see. Also, you can say comment, as in excuse me or what. It's the same meaning. But pardon and comment are polite, and "hein" are a bit more familiar and pretty fun. So you can try using them to sound more French. But don't use them in French exams, because I don't want you to lose any point for being too modern. There's one you probably already heard, which is voilà. It's a funny one because it has different meanings depending on the context of the phrase. For example, you can use it as voilà. I mean, to say, okay, c'est ça, for example. That's it. Voilà. That's the end. That's it. You have everything here. Voilà. For okay, c'est ça. That's it. Voilà. You can also say, you can also use voilà to mean here comes, as in you can see it coming. Voilà. For example, voilà nos desserts. Voilà nos desserts. Here come our desserts if you're at the restaurant, for example. Voilà nos desserts. Or voilà ma mère. Or voilà mon chien. Here comes, and then you can put whatever you want after that. Also, we can use it when you want to change the subject. For example, that's all you want to say about it. You can say, et puis voilà. Okay, and that's the end of it. Et puis voilà. Again, it's a bit difficult for me to explain this to you, but you can see it in my face. You can hear it in my voice as well. I want to say, I don't want to talk about that anymore. That's the end of the story. That's it. Et puis voilà. Okay? And again, voilà is used in many, many ways. And one last thing I wanted to tell you about is et bah dis donc. Okay, so you can have this et puis voilà meaning if you want to sound more French and you're a bit more advanced because you can feel and understand the nuance of French. You can say waouh, et bah dis donc. So you're very impressed, and that's what you want to say. Maybe you already heard dis donc before. It means like, wow, you see, you mean, that's huge. Okay, dis donc, I'm impressed, I'm surprised. That's exactly what it means. And eh bah comes from eh bien. Eh bien, that's a proper way to say it. That's how I should teach you. But I don't say it. So you can say eh bah to say eh bien in French. And when you mix it with dis donc, it becomes eh bah dis donc. And you can hear it in my voice, which is very fast. Because I'm surprised, I'm very probably speaking with friends, I take all my French words and put them together. I don't even articulate very much. One last thing to help you speak more French and to understand younger French people better is certain expressions that I don't necessarily recommend everybody uses. They're not in any way vulgar, but they're more younger French. Again, nothing vulgar, but sometimes it can be weird to hear older people using this kind of expression. But as always with Comme une Française, I want to teach you everything I know so you are very prepared to speak French with real French person. So the first thing is, it's a funny one, it's tu m'étonnes. Tu m'étonnes means I bet you are. Okay, so you're not surprising me. However, the meaning of tu m'étonnes is you are surprising me. But it means it's not surprising, no wonder. Okay, tu m'étonnes is super useful. You can use it in many, many, many ways, and lots of people use it all the time. Actually, we should say tu ne m'étonnes pas, but because we drop the ne, we end up dropping the pas as well, and it becomes tu m'étonnes. Okay, and as you can see, my face shows that it's not surprising. Okay, like, for example, tu as soif? Tu m'étonnes avec cette chaleur. You are thirsty? No wonder with that heat. Okay, so that's how we use it. The second younger French expression I wanted to show you is t'inquiète. Again, it should be ne t'inquiète pas, don't worry. But we say t'inquiète. It's colloquial, it's very, very common. And it's an interesting thing to think about because it's exactly like tu m'étonnes. We should say fais-moi confiance or ne t'en fais pas. but we say t'inquiète, as in don't worry, okay? T'inquiète. For example, we can say t'es sûr qu'on va dans la bonne direction? T'inquiète. T'es sûr qu'on va dans la bonne direction? T'inquiète, okay? You can hear it in my voice, you can see it in my face. It means you are sure we are heading the right way? Yes, don't worry. And again, it means you are worrying. But because it's spoken French, we dropped many words and it becomes t'inquiète. The third one I wanted to tell you about is quand même, because I've started to see many issues with that. Lots of French people write it quand même, which you should never do. Just don't start doing that. It's a huge mistake. It doesn't mean anything. It's quand même. Quand même is used a lot. It's very French and it means like even though, or that's too much. It comes out of bounds. That's way too much. Quand même. For example, we can have an example such as on va quand même pas abandonner maintenant. On va quand même pas abandonner maintenant. It means we're not going to give up now. That would be too bad. Okay? It's a bit difficult to translate literally. So if you want to Google it, you can find many French sentences with it. But again, it's used a lot, and that's very useful if you want to sound more French. That's very easy to add to your French. You just have to understand the meaning to embrace it and give it a try. That's it for today. I hope you liked this lesson. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What did you learn today? Whether you're a beginner, intermediate or advanced, there are lots of things you can learn. And again, even if you're advanced, I've had many students with a French that is way too textbook at their level and should be much more like spoken French is in real life. Again, you can download the PDF on the blog on communefrancaise.com. You can find all the vocabulary, extra cultural resources, so you don't have to take notes on the episode. You can print it, take notes, super helpful, and it's very pretty. If you learned something today, please share this lesson with a friend. They can still join the lesson, the program for free. It's 4 weeks. This was week number 2. I will see you on week number 3 next week. Allez, salut!